and they're off. It was a slow start for Earthy Mangold. Through the very early stages, it was Varian who just claimed the early lead, taken on by Bodorgan, who races towards the near side rail. A little bit wider is Arabian Storm, and those are the first three. Betterment gets no cover on the far left as we look down towards the horses, and at the moment is pulling very hard and around about fourth position. The favourite is Military Order, who's up against the rail, racing in the second wave alongside Lope and also Enfjaar. At the moment, the back markers include Dame Sire, who races alongside Royal Dream, who is keen, and up against the rail, Earthy Mangold, who's now just taken a couple of places as they race on now through the halfway point down towards the final 3 furlongs. And it's Bodorgan whose lead now is about 3/4 of length over Varian, who is in second position. Arabian Storm in a close third. Military Order is now being ridden along by William Buick to try and close in fourth. And then Enfjaar down the outside is beginning to pick up as they race now down into the dip with a furlong and a half to go. And it's Arabian Storm who has now got the lead over Bodorgan in second. Enfjaar is in third. Military Order is in fourth. They're racing now down towards the final half furlong. Arabian Storm now tackled by Enfjaar over on the far side, and Enfjaar comes home strongly to win. Enfjaar over Arabian Storm, Bodorgan in third, and in fourth, Military Order.
Enfjaar wins nicely on debut, 7-2 for David Egan and Roger Varian. Second was Arabian Storm, 9-2. Third was Bodorgan at 16-1. Roger Varian is enjoying quite the late season, isn't he? And this son of Lope de Vega, Enfjaar, has quickened up very nicely on the outside to win well on his debut. Cost 240,000 guineas as a foal, and he looks a horse of considerable promise. Staying on very stoutly in the closing stages, looks a little bit green earlier on, as you'd expect from a horse having his first racecourse start, particularly at a course such as Newmarket, but he's seen it out really well and has caught the leaders in good time late on.
Enfjaar has just won with David Egan on board for Roger Varian, a newcomer who did it really nicely. I thought he picked up the leaders really well.
Yeah, lovely son of Lope de Vega, who obviously had the hood on for the first time today, and it was important for him to have a nice, kind introduction to racing. And to be fair, he gave me a lovely ride down to post, good in the prelims, and I felt Mr. Smith's horse with Shamey probably quickened and went down the dip, probably a bit sharper than we were able to. We were probably just a bit slower to learn, but I thought his class came through. I just had to bide my time, not to rush him too much, and then at the rising ground he really came to the fore for me, yeah.
That first time hood, did that signify he'd been a little bit buzzy perhaps at home? Yeah,
I've never actually had the privilege to sit on him at home, but obviously when the boss does things for a reason, he wears one at home, and he kept it on for race day, showing that he probably just needed that bit of help just to keep him quiet, but it did the trick because he was impeccable. Because young horses, with the windy conditions there is today, they can easily get lit up, but he was good as gold.
Yeah, there were a few green ones there, so the hood definitely did his job. What are you expecting his distance capabilities to be?
Yeah, he was obviously a bit slow to learn today, but I don't think he's a slow horse, obviously by Lope de Vega, so you'd say there's a bit of scope there, but especially the fact that he had the hood on to keep him nice and quiet shows there probably is a bit more speed under the tank when he fully matures into a horse, but that's going to be next year for sure.
So it's a double for you on the day, congratulations. In the preceding race you also rode a newcomer for Roger, Lunar Effect. Now, you mentioned the windy conditions out there. He was stuck on the wind, on the wing rather. Did that work against him?
I think so, yeah, for sure. It's very important in these conditions, almost like the Tour de France. You see all the cyclists getting right in amongst them and staying out of that aerodynamic wind stream, but unfortunately just the way things occurred, but he was a bit probably, they didn't go very quick in that race and sort of sprinted away. He's a little bit probably not as sharp as some of the other runners on the day, but to be fair, the last 100 yards he hit the line strong, so I would expect him to take a big leap forward from that first run.
What were your reflections on Mrs. Fitzherbert in the Sun Chariot?
A similar sort of thing, low draw out on that side into the wind was a big negative today. Winners coming up this close to the stands rail, and the ground felt easier on her than it did on my previous winner today, so it felt like maybe a better surface would be best suited to her, and the greater race probably just emphasised that more.
You've got 2 rides left, so briefly, Hexameter, who's a filly you know well, although you haven't ridden her lately, what do you think of a chance in the next?
Good chance. I think there's a strong pace angle. She obviously won, broke her maiden the last day, making the run, and she did it with ease. Had to make the run in that day, but I think it's going to be a truly run race. She stays well, and I think that's going to be to her benefit for sure.
And finally, Dancing to Win, who you rode at Kempton last time?
Yeah, I would have loved it to have a huge deluge of rain, because she loves it. The deeper the better. She ran a very good race last time in defeat after quite a, not a lengthy layoff, but a significant layoff this time of year. As I said, the ground could have helped her a little bit more as it's this windy day. It's drying out all the time, but she's a tough filly who'll run a race.
Okay, well, best of luck for the rest of the card. Congratulations so far.